PK in the universe, and I'm back again with another video. And today I'm here to discuss my N64 collection. My N64 collection. A little bit of housekeeping first. I just want to say thank you guys so much who've been watching lately. There's been a lot of people watching this channel lately. It's really weird. Like, I don't know why, because I haven't put out a new video in like 5 or 6 days. So I wouldn't think that I'd be getting a lot of views, but all of a sudden I'm starting to get like this weird influx of views. I don't know if it's the algorithm or what, but yeah, I'm just really appreciative and thankful that all these people have been coming to view my videos. We're getting really, really close to monetization. We're just like 15 hours away. And yeah, I really appreciate all the people who've been coming to my channel lately. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it. So, but anyways, like, let's get to the video. Let's get started and talk about my N64 collection. Recently, a YouTuber and Twitter user, what's this guy's name again? Genovi. Yes, Genovi. That's right. He had posted a little tweet there, you know, about the N64 library versus the Sega Saturn library. And man, a lot of people got their knickers in a twist about that. That was pretty wild. It's pretty far out. So, do I agree with him? Oh, absolutely not. It's ridiculous. I don't even know anybody who owned a Sega Saturn as a kid. Yeah, I mean, there's people, you know, I've met online and stuff. But like when I was a kid, like growing up, I didn't know anybody who had a Sega Saturn. I bet if you walk down the street, just go into Walmart and ask somebody like, what was your favorite Sega Saturn game? They probably don't be like, I didn't even own one. You know, a lot of people owned a Nintendo 64. You know, they sold 33 million of those, and they sold like 9 million Sega Saturns. You know, so big difference in number of people who had one. Plus, you know, the majority of the library of Sega Saturn games, you know, like 700 of the 1,000 Sega Saturn games were like, you know, in Japan only. So it's kind of weird to think that the N64 library would be worse than the Sega Saturn library. I don't get that, but again, I maybe I don't know enough about Sega Saturn. Maybe I'm crazy, but anyways, I want to talk about my N64 collection. You know, I figured this is the perfect time since a lot of people have N64 on the mind. So anyways, yeah, let's get right into my N64 collection. Now, first up, we have what I call my Andy collection. And this is my collection I got from my friend Andy Post, my best friend from, you know, we've known each other since like 6th grade. And I'd made a little video and he had basically sent me all of mine and some of his childhood video games. So this is a collection of a combination of both our games. And yeah, it means a lot to me. And when I think about it, I still smile ear to ear just thinking it's like, I never thought I would see these games again. And I still am super appreciative of that. It's been over a month, but I'm still thinking about it. So anyhow, yeah, let's get right to these. Do I have some different things to say about them this time? Yeah, maybe. I can't remember exactly. There might be some new things I learned. Of course, The World Is Not Enough. The World Is Not Enough. This was my favorite James Bond movie growing up, actually. I don't know what it is. I feel like this is like Pierce Brosnan at his finest. You know, I talked about it before that I actually prefer this over GoldenEye, which is a pretty hot take. Most people would not say that. Most people are incredibly nostalgic for GoldenEye just because of all the additional, you know, characters and stuff like that, you know, from past Bonds. But I don't know, you know, just in general, The World's Not Enough holds a special place in my heart. It's like my favorite Pierce Brosnan and James Bond movie. I honestly think it was like Pierce Brosnan like finally came into his own as the character, I feel like. And the game, it's a little janky, you know, like, I mean, looking at it nowadays, but still, you know, again, nostalgia plays a huge factor in that. So I was glad I didn't have to actually go out and buy that one, you know, so, because I'd always thought about buying it. I thought about buying it at a convention. I remember used to see it at a convention for like $25, and I'm like, maybe wait, but I'm glad I have it. Paper Mario. I did actually turn this on and put it in. Andy's file, man, he played a long time this game. I can tell he played for quite a while. You know, Paper Mario is a weird game to me because I was hoping we were going to get a Super Mario RPG 2 because I'm a huge fan of Mario RPG. But then we got Paper Mario and I'm kind of like, what the heck? This is like the opposite of, you know, Mario RPG. Mario RPG, like the graphics were like really good for a Super Nintendo game at the time, you know, and I think it still looks really good on a CRT, but when you play it on like a HD TV, it looks awful, honestly, you know, but unless you have like, I guess, you know, adapters and, you know, mods and stuff like that. But Paper Mario, yeah, I still need to explore that one. I've played the Switch Paper Mario game. I played the Wii one, but had not really gotten to invest much time in this. I hope to change that at some point here. Goemon's Great Adventure. Goemon's Great Adventure. I don't know. I think this might have been in my friend Shane's originally. I think that's what Andy told me. I don't know. I'm a little fuzzy on the details. But apparently this game's actually kind of expensive nowadays. And I did not know that when I got it, I don't think. I don't think I knew that. I'd have to look back at the video. But yeah, this game, apparently they didn't make a lot of them. So kind of a little bit rare. So that's pretty cool. My original copy of GoldenEye. My goodness. I can't believe this. You know, I do have another copy of GoldenEye too in my collection. But yeah, just to have my childhood one, and you can tell this is a very well-worn, well-loved GoldenEye. So, man, we played the crap out of that game. It was unbelievable how good it was for the time. I think the controls have aged pretty horribly, but overall, you know, it's like, it is what it is. Oh, yes, Super Mario 64. This is my copy of Super Mario 64. You know how I know? It's because it's a player's choice version. I didn't finally get this until it was a player's choice game, and I remember I got it at Shopko. I got it at Shopko, which was in the mall at the time, and I think it was Spencer, Iowa. Yeah. Shopko? Yeah, it was Shopko. It wasn't FYE, it was Shopko, that's for sure. It's hard to believe they don't even make Shopkos anymore. Shopko doesn't exist anymore, and it's old, you know, maybe they still do glasses or something. I'm not sure, but it's not really a thing anymore, yeah. Space Invaders. Space Invaders. Yeah, this version is very different than the original. You know, it's like a remade version or whatever. Pretty interesting. Perfect Dark. Can't go wrong with Perfect Dark. Awesome game. Think that was originally mine. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was somebody else's. I don't remember. WWF No Mercy. Oh man, no, this is a good wrestling game right here. I forgot how good this was. Yeah, I don't have WCW NWO Revenge as a game I really want to get because I actually had that as a kid. This was not in the collection, but I want to get that at some point. And it's still pretty darn cheap. It's actually one of the best N64 selling games of all time. Like, as far as sales wise, I think it sold over 1 million. I know that for sure. But it was like one of the best selling N64 third party games, if not the best selling as far as third party goes. But yeah, so I definitely want to get that at some point for sure. And Banjo-Tooie, this was definitely Andy's Banjo-Tooie. I didn't have this growing up. This is my copy, of course, of Banjo-Kazooie, because like I said in the last video, you know, my name's on the back of it, so my initials anyways. WrestleMania 2000. I really need to try this one out again, too. It's been a long time since I played that. Donkey Kong 64. Yeah, this is definitely my original copy of Donkey Kong 64. I did beat this game when I was a kid. In fact, I think this might have been my first memory of playing the arcade version of Donkey Kong, because the arcade version is included in here. I played the NES version as a kid, but I never actually played the arcade version until playing this. I think it's the real arcade version. Don't quote me on that. It's been a while. And of course, my Game Shark. My Game Shark, man. This thing was something else back in the day, you know. It's like, it was, you know, of course, it's Game Shark was the Game Genie of its time, you know. And this thing, man, I was always like going to the local library and, you know, printing off like codes or whatever for games I had. It was a lot of fun just messing around with it. But yeah, so those are all the games I got from my friend Andy. So I don't know if I told you guys anything new or different than the last time, but those are the games. So let's go over some other games. So here's my collection that was not any way part of Andy's collection at all. Of course, I got Perfect Dark. I had to get Perfect Dark again. 1080 Snowboarding. I did have this as a kid, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's pretty fun. You know, it's a good snowboarding game. What can I say? It's 1080 Snowboarding. Everybody knows about this game. Wave Race 64. Wave Race 64. I've never liked the Wave Race games. Everybody else says they love them, but I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe I need to try them out more. Quest 64. My wife got this for me for $10 at a flea market. I had this as a kid, I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% certain, but I swear I thought I had this game, or at least I rented it maybe at some point, but got a lot of nostalgia for this one. I know it's a notoriously bad game, but I don't know. It's kind of charming and weird, and I don't know. There's just something about it. Diddy Kong Racing. Everybody says this game is better than Mario Kart 64. I don't know. Like, Mario Kart 64 didn't have the best racing, but I think Mario Kart 64 had an amazing battle mode. This game has some pretty awesome racing, and of course it's got, you know, Banjo and Conker in it, which is just crazy. Used to have Conker's Bad Fur Day on N64, but then I think I sold it because I was like, I think I have the live and reloaded version on Xbox, and that's actually the graphically better version, but a lot of people really like the N64 version, and it's pretty expensive. I actually wish I had held on to it a little longer. I don't know. Maybe when was I ever going to play it? When was I ever going to play it? I don't know. But yeah, Diddy Kong Racing. Can't go wrong with that game. Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. Kind of remember renting this game. I don't have a whole lot of memories about it. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. I freaking love this game. Okay, I'm a big, huge fan of Episode 1, which is a really hot take, I know. A lot of people are like, oh, I can't stand the prequel trilogy at all, you know, and some people, it's like, oh, I like Revenge of the Sith maybe, but everything else they thought sucked. Fair enough, fair enough. I really do like Episode 1 because the reason is for a lot of reasons. One, this game definitely plays a factor into that because I really like racing games. I've always been a fan of racing my whole life, basically. And, you know, the idea of, you know, these, you know, chariots in space, you know, kind of thing. And that was one of my favorite things about the original movie Episode 1 was, you know, the pod racing. The pod racing was fantastic. And, of course, the lightsaber duel. But, yeah, I used to spend hours playing this game. I love this game. I got it at the Midwest Gaming Classic a few years back for like $3. And I was like, yes, this is a freaking steal. Absolutely adore this game. Now it's on modern platforms too. You know, I thought about getting it, but then I'm like, I don't care that much. I have this. This is how I would want to play it. I'd want to play it with an N64 controller, you know, the way I remember. So, yeah, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Freaking love this game. Pokemon Snap. I don't really like this game. I really don't. But my son likes it, actually. He thinks it's really fun to, you know, take pictures of Pokemon. And if you just put this in the N64 and give him a controller, he'll just play it until you tell him to stop. So, yeah, so I'm glad I still have this game in my collection. Pokemon Stadium. Some horrible person wrote their name on this. Don't know who. But, yeah, Pokemon Stadium. What can I say about this game? I think it definitely serves a purpose. I have the game Pokemon Yellow, of course, and if you use the transfer pack, you can transfer your Pikachu to Pokemon Stadium, and if you do something, I don't remember what, it's been a lot of years, it's been like, I don't know, 20-some years since I've done this, you can basically, when you transfer your Pikachu back to your Game Boy, basically it becomes a surfing Pikachu. So that's why I would definitely hold on to this cart, so I could have Surfing Pikachu if I ever decide to pick up Pokemon Yellow again and play it. I do still have Pokemon Yellow. I don't have Pokemon Red and Blue anymore for some reason, but I still have Yellow. I had all 3 Pokemon games back in the day, you know, and I was playing it like in the 8th grade, I want to say, but then after high school, I was like, you know, I'm not going to tell people I play Pokemon, you know, because it's like I don't want to get beat up in school. I mean, sure, I was like 6'4" in like freshman year, but still, I'm still worried about getting beat up. So, anyways, yeah, Pokemon Stadium. Excite Bike 64. This game is really cool because it has the original Excite Bike on it, you know, the original game. And I did a review of this like 10 years ago. It's a terrible review. Please don't go watch it. I'm serious. So, yeah, don't know what else to say about Excite Bike 64. I had the original Castlevania 64 back in the day, and I unironically really liked it. You know, it's what I had, but I've never picked it back up. But I did pick up Castlevania Legacy of Darkness because I always wanted to play this version of the game because I remember reading about it in a video game magazine. It might have been EGM or GamePro or something, and thinking to myself, whoa, this is really cool. You can play as a werewolf? That's crazy. And I guess they fixed some of the glitches in this game too compared to the original, but this is basically like the original, and if you, I guess, beat this game, you could play the original version of it, so it's kind of like 2 games in one, sort of. So, yeah, Legacy of Darkness. I unironically really liked Castlevania 64 when I was a kid, you know. I never played Symphony of the Night at the time, and yeah, so, yep, Castlevania Legacy of Darkness. NFL Blitz 2000. Don't even remember where I picked this up, honestly, but I don't know. I was more of a Quarterback Club 2000 kid back in the day on N64, but arcade-style football is still a lot of fun, of course. Star Fox 64. Don't have a lot to say about this one. I've heard it's one of the best Star Fox games. Heard the 3DS version is even better. But yeah, Star Fox 64. Pilot 64. Another game I don't really have much to say about. Star Wars Rogue Squadron. I'm still really terrible at flying games for the most part, except Snoopy versus the Red Baron on PS2. That's about the only game I'm really good at on as far as flying games go. But I did really enjoy this game a lot. I remember being able to unlock the Naboo fighter. That was pretty cool. And of course, you know, the Naboo fighter is in the Mandalorian now in the recent season. You know, it's a really weird version of it. But yeah, so pretty cool. Pretty cool game. San Francisco Rush. Holy cow. I freaking love this game. My God, it is fantastic. It is just insane arcade racing action fun. Like so many of the, you know, sayings or whatever, like it's dangerous, you know, and like stuff like that is just like stuck in my head from playing this game for so long when I was a kid. And just, it was so crazy, like watching these cars explode, you know, and then respawn, and the racing was just completely insane. And yeah, I absolutely adore this game. It's one of my favorites as a kid growing up. This is a game I discovered later in life, and that is Beetle Adventure Racing. Beetle Adventure Racing is pretty darn fun too. There's like always like a little secret path you can take or whatever to get ahead of your competition. And you know, you're just racing cool little beetles. It's fun. Just plain simple, cheap fun. I think I got this for like $5 like a million years ago. A lot of people have said this is a hidden gem, but you know, it's fun. It's a fun game. Another copy of GoldenEye. This one's actually in a lot better shape, but still it's GoldenEye. I already talked about it. What can I say? WWF Warzone. I remember renting this. From the local gas station, and a bunch of buddies of mine would play this together. I remember there was a kid we didn't like in school, so we made a character that looked just like him or whatever, and we had like a really mean name for him. That was so cruel. Why did we do this kind of thing? Like, you know, kids will be kids, I guess, you know, but yeah, and it was rated T for teen, so how old were we? How old were we when we were allowed to rent this? I don't know. Maybe we were the right age. I can't remember, but yeah, that's my weird memory is like there was a kid we didn't like in school and we made a character after him. He was probably mean to us. That was probably what it was. I don't know. He was probably like bullying us or something. But yeah, we made a kid that we just like beat the crap out of this guy like a tag team or something. I don't know. Or like 3-on-1. Yeah. I don't know why that just popped in my head. That's so weird. Donkey Kong 64. Got it again, of course. Wow, this is actually getting kind of high. I'm gonna remove this from existence. There we go. That's better. Up next, we got Mario Golf, and don't have a lot to say about Mario Golf. Need to try this one out. Really, I don't know why I've never played this. I remember playing the Game Boy version a little bit, the Game Boy Color version. I want to say, don't have too many memories of this. Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. Of course, I got these again. You know, I have a bunch of doubles now, so I should probably just get rid of a bunch now that I have all these doubles. But also, I should probably check out and make sure they each work right. That's also kind of a thing. You know, some of these games I still haven't played in a really long time, so I'm like, what if they don't work? That'd be terrible if I got rid of the one that actually worked or something. But, you know, and of course you can clean the games and stuff if they don't work, obviously, but sometimes a game doesn't work. I mean, I've had physical NES and Sega Genesis and Atari games that have not worked. That just flat out stopped working with no explanation, so it can happen. Mario 64, this one is really beat up, so not too much to say about this. Rainbow Six. This is not my original copy, but it's kind of unusual that it's a gray cart because typically it is a black cart. I have a ton of fond memories playing this game. I remember this game is actually better on N64 than it is the PlayStation. And you know what the thing that's really cool about this game that I really enjoyed was just like, you know, commanding my people to go out in front of me and shoot everybody. And I would not do the shooting. I'm just like, yeah, just send this guy out here and he'll do all the shooting. That was a lot of fun, you know, just being like team leader and telling people where to go and stuff. So, and they were pretty good. So yeah, Rainbow Six. Now, neither one of these are my childhood games, but I did own gold cartridges both when I was a kid, and that's, of course, Majora's Mask and, of course, Zelda Ocarina of Time. And yeah, I owned these as a kid when they were gold cards. I used to have the boxes complete, and then something happened. I think they got lost in a move or something, and I was heartbroken when I realized these are gone forever. I have no idea what happened to them. Yeah, this copy is in pretty decent shape, as you can see. Now, this is one I gotten off eBay, and unfortunately, it's broke. That's right. It's somebody sent it in a bubble wrapper, and you know, I don't know why I didn't like say I want a refund. I was pretty new to like buying stuff on eBay, and I was like, well, you know what? It'll play, so who cares? Why did I think that was okay? I don't know. I don't know why I thought that was okay. I should have asked for a refund, and then I could have, you know, got one that wasn't broke. But yeah, I've been kind of stuck with this broke Majora's Mask hologram, you know, but it still works. It works and plays just fine. So yeah, I particularly love Majora's Mask. I beat OOT, but I never actually beat Majora's Mask, but I got really close. Like, I think I woke up like 3 of the 4 sleeping giants or something like that. But this game is something else. It's just so quirky and different than the first one. I mean, the first one has some quirky characters in it, but this one really is really crazy, and you know, and the premise is just insane. So yeah, I think Majora's Mask is one of my favorites, and you know, it's just such a dark game. It's just so edgy, and yeah. So those were all my N64 games. And as you can see behind me, of course, I have my friend Andy's Watermelon N64. And of course, I have my Jungle Green N64. Now, that's not my original Jungle Green N64, but I did have a Jungle Green N64 growing up. That's how I actually got Donkey Kong 64, because it came with a Jungle Green controller, and it came with, you know, the expansion pack. Because that was the thing. You couldn't play Donkey Kong 64 without the expansion pack. In fact, you know, when it was complete in box, it would actually include the expansion pack with it. I think, was Majora's Mask the same way? I don't remember. But I remember I already had an expansion pack when I got Majora's Mask, so it didn't really matter. It's weird. Yeah, Majora's Mask, Donkey Kong 64 are both games you need the expansion pack. And I think like Perfect Dark gives you like enhanced, you know, colors or graphics or something like that when you use the expansion pack. I think Rogue Squadron was compatible, you know, had enhanced features with the expansion pack. There were a number of games that like looked a little better if you had the expansion pack. But Resident Evil 2, I think, was one of those games as well. Used to have that actually, but I sold it off a while back. I don't remember why. I should have kept that one. It was kind of a unique version of the game. But yeah, overall, this is my N64 collection. Pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with what I got. There's a few games I still want to get. I think I talked about, I want to get Tony Hawk, blue cartridge, of course. I want to get Harvest Moon 64. Had that as a kid. Would love to get that again. Trying to think if there's anything else off the top of my head that I would like to get back. Oh, I should get Mario Kart 64 again. I used to have it. Don't know why I sold it. I have it on the Wii and Wii U, I want to say. But I don't actually, own an N64 version of it anymore, which is kind of crazy, really, because that's really still the best way to play it, in my opinion. Just playing it on original hardware, playing on a CRT, that's the way to be. I love playing games that way sometimes. You know, there's just something incredibly nostalgic about it all. So anyways, that's my N64 collection. What are your guys' thoughts? What's your favorite N64 game? Comment below. Love to hear what you have to say. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay awesome in this universe. Thanks. Bye.